Welcome back to the Freedom from Addiction channel. And today's topic is the top secret to overcoming your addiction. By the way, I'm Coach Malik. If this is your first time here, author of Overcoming Addiction Through Grace, as well as founder of Amazing Grace Recovery. So let's dive right in. The number one top secret of overcoming your addiction is using the 24-hour plan. So if you are anything like me, and this for me, it was all of the addictions, alcohol, drugs, gambling, cigarettes. The 24-hour plan principle is what I use to overcome every one of them. So if you are struggling with alcohol, I'm sure you've been in a position where you've told yourself over and over again that, oh, I'm just going to not drink hard liquor. I'm going to drink beer or wine. And then what happens is you find yourself now consuming more beer, more wine to get the same buzz that you had when you were drinking the liquor. So that didn't work. You may have found yourself saying, I'm going to step out on willpower. For someone, and the same principles apply to each addiction. Someone like you who may have been using drugs for a long period of time, and now you're saying, I'm going to exercise willpower. I'm not going to smoke any weed. I'm not going back to this heroin. I'm not calling my dealer. I'm not going back to get some heroin. I'm not going back to get some crack. And you may have been able to get some time under your belt. You may be able to accomplish that in your own willpower. But if you know the truth, like I know, eventually you ended up going right back to that dealer, going right back to your habit, to your addiction. And that's because you didn't use the 24-hour plan. Same thing applies with gambling. How many times have you told yourself that I'm not going to take my debit card to the casino? I'm only going to spend this amount. If I lose this, I'm done. And you find yourself over and over again crossing all these boundaries and losing way more money than you told yourself you would. So with the 24-hour plan, this is a plan that will help you to, number one, take it easy on yourself, because a lot of times I'm sure you're telling yourself that I'm done with this. I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to smoke again. Whatever it is, fill in the blank for you. But you keep finding yourself doing it. And it's because you have too much pressure on yourself. Instead of breaking it down and saying, you know what? I'm not going to drink today. I'm not going to use today. I'm not going to gamble just for today. And even sometimes that may be a challenge for you. And when that is the case, then you can break it down into 15-minute intervals. You could break it down to an hour at a time and say, I'm not going to use for the next 15 minutes. I'm not going to use for the next hour. And these are the things, when you start chopping it down, breaking it down to short time frames, this begins to help you build confidence, because you can get through a day of not drinking, of not gambling, of not using, of not smoking cigarettes. You can do that. So it's no need to add extra pressure on ourselves. And also, we have told so many people, we don't have to forecast this. We don't have to broadcast this and tell everyone, oh, I'm not doing this anymore. Because now you are putting more pressure on yourself instead of just making the commitment to this 24-hour plan and saying, today, I'm not going to do it. Because that pressure begins to amount when you start telling people, oh, I'm done with, I'm never using again. I'm never drinking again. Instead of just saying, no, for today, I'm okay. Whenever I go on vacation, and I just came back from Cabo, Mexico, and it was an all-inclusive resort. Everywhere me and my wife went, that everybody was drinking. And she may have one or two drinks, but she doesn't suffer from an addiction like I did. So instead of saying, no, I don't drink anymore, or I just tell them, oh no, I've had enough. I'm okay. Instead of saying, oh, I'll never drink again, or I could never drink again, or whatever, saying I'm an alcoholic, I can't have any. These are some tools. These are some ideas. So when the temptation, or when you're around someone that's drinking, or you put yourself in a place where someone is using drugs, that you know that you cannot be around them, or you cannot use that drug, because you're going to fall right back into a deep, vicious cycle, then those are the techniques you can use and say, no, I've had enough. The best thing to do is not put yourself in those situations if you can help it. But once we start getting some momentum, once you get one day under your belt, and you can even say, hey, I'm not doing it today, maybe tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, you repeat that and say, I'm not doing it today. And what happens is you start getting some clean time. You start getting confidence. You start getting momentum, instead of trying to look all the way down the road and say, oh, I'm never drinking again, or I'm never smoking again. I'm never gambling again. I'm never using drugs again. Whatever that thing is, break it down to the 24-hour plan. Because what happens if you don't do it this way, then you will eventually give in. If you do not have the proper tools, you don't have the proper things in place, like support groups, like for me, my faith in God, making sure I have a daily routine that's centered around God, seeking God, whether it's praying, reading the Bible, reading devotionals, and then from there, healthy habits every day, to where it's a set routine. Because when you stop using or whatever it is, drinking, gambling, there is going to feel like it's a big void in you. And this is the time where we need to replace that void with something, so we're not constantly romanticizing or compulsively thinking about what we're stepping away from. So if you are in a position right now where you know that this is making sense to you, you know that your mind has gone there and said, oh, how am I going to be able to do this for the rest of my life? What am I going to do? Your birthday may be months away, or what am I going to do for Christmas? And instead of thinking about what you're going to do, or are you going to be able to do it, just reel it back in and think about right now. Think about today. Think about the next 15 minutes and begin to tell yourself, I can do this for 15 minutes. 15 minutes turns into a half hour. A half hour turns into 45 minutes. Turns into hour, and then hours. And then the next thing you know, you will have gotten through that one day, the 24-hour plan, which will give you enough to fight for the next day. So If this resonates with you, I want you to go into the description section right here on my channel. And it's a couple of different ways that I can help you. I specialize in helping my clients overcome addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, or gambling. And set up a call with me. Set up that strategy call. Let's talk through where you are. And listen, I understand that this is a very touchy and private subject for a lot of people. People are not excited to tell other people that they're struggling with something. So that's why I encourage you to go to my DM. My Facebook is my first and last name, Malik Keen. You see that in the description section too, or you can set up a call right in the description section on a Calendly call. Put your information in there, select the time, and let's put together a strategy so you don't have to continue to torture yourself thinking that this is going to be so hard that I have to do this for the rest of my life. Let's talk about how we can start with just the 24-hour plan, and let's master that together. Because once we do that, then I'm sure that will build up confidence. It'll build momentum. It'll build faith that you can do this for the long term. So if that's you, I want you to give me a call. I look forward to hearing from you, and God bless.